Shazam YouTube, y'all ready? Time to do some vibe coding, baby. How y'all doing out there? My name is Pierre. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining in. Today we're going to be doing some vibe coding, right? So we're going to be working on a program that I built myself from scratch. No coding experience, right? Just intellect and taste, okay? But we built this program using vibe coding, okay? Which is basically just being able to communicate with a coding agent what you would like to see. That coding agent then goes out, builds the code, and voila, you got a money-making app, right? So today, guys, you're gonna be following along on my journey of building Portal, okay? So for all of you guys who are new and don't know, Portal is basically an exchange app that sits on top of the, well, I should say a user interface that sits on top of the Hyperliquid exchange, right? So Portal has many features that, you know, really aren't found locally inside of, you know, many front ends that connect to Hyperliquid. All right, and we're going to use that as our edge to basically take over this market, right? We're looking to shut down the Coinbases of the world and any other competitor like it, all right? So the last thing we were working on in Portal was our referrals page that we added. As you can see, we have it up, right? It's looking pretty clean. We made some changes to it. We, you know, made it pop, made it look nice or whatnot. So that's pretty much done, okay? A couple of things we can kind of, you know what I'm saying, work on within this page that could make it look a lot better. But for the most part, what we have here is where we want to be sitting with it or whatnot, right? Some of this stuff is kind of placeholders, of course, like this isn't, you know what I'm saying, actually live data, but we'll go in and have Portal work on some things in the back end. I say Portal, we'll have Codex work on some things in the back end of Portal's referral page to make it, you know what I'm saying, actually functional and ready to go. One thing I do see right here that I'm want to change is the way this back button looks or whatever, to go back to the home page. So let's see, we got the points ledger, live activity, ranked, tracked. All right, this is irrelevant. These three tabs can kind of come out because all of that information is, you know what I'm saying, like here or whatnot, right? The only thing we need is the back to terminal, you know what I'm saying, button, and we want to change this into, you know, like an icon versus the actual, you know what I'm saying, text or whatnot, right? So what we'll do is we're in some called, so right now this is a browser that's inside of, you know, Codex or whatever, right? So this is Codex. This is just Codex, you know, internal browser. The thing that's special about it is you can actually, you know, make changes directly to whatever, you know what I'm saying, application you're working on. In this case, it's a web app, but we can make changes directly to the web app right here within, you know, Codex's browser, right? So in order to do that, we have something called the annotation mode, which is this little button here. We'll press on this and then we'll go ahead and start to, you know, actually get some changes popping off, right? So let's see, actually, let's stop that because I want to move this out of the way when I'm talking so I can see exactly what's going on. All right, so we need to make some changes to the 4 buttons on the right hand side of this header. Basically, I want to remove the rank track button, the live activity button, and the point ledger button. And what I want to do is I want to change the back terminal button. The text, I want it to change into just an icon that represents going back to the main you know, Portal terminal page. All right. All right, so as you can see, whenever I'm changing something on my app, I don't type stuff in, you know what I'm saying? It just takes way too long. Plus, I can speak in a more free thought versus typing what I'm thinking, then, oh no, I don't want to say it like that, backspace, backspace, backspace. You know, I can say, well, instead of what I just said, like, let's, you know what I'm saying, do it this way, right? That's a lot quicker than having to manually type things in. For me, some of you might be like, just the best typers in the world, but I find this to be a lot quicker. All right, but as you can see, it uploaded everything that I spoke here. And now what we're gonna do is submit it, okay? And then if we come over here, we can see it, you know what I'm saying, kind of do its work or whatnot. All right, so we'll give it some time to actually complete that. The cool thing about it too, guys, again, like I say, I'm using Codex. So within Codex, what'll happen is you submit, you know, whatever it is that you want to see change, right? And then you'll get a summary of how, you know, the coding agent Codex interpreted what you said. So I'll make this a narrow header cleanup, keep the route back to the main terminal page, remove the 3 status buttons, and turn back the control and turn the back control into an icon only button with an accessible label. Perfect, right? That's exactly what I wanted it to do. All right, so we'll let it kind of do its thing and work itself out a little bit. In the meantime, we'll go back to our list. So what I like to do whenever I'm actually like working on my site is I like to create, you know, I like to go through the site and basically just create like a hit list of different things that, you know, we need to be working on or that need to be changed in order to get the site 100%, you know what I'm saying, ready for launch or whatnot, right? I do this because a lot of times you can kind of get lost in the sauce, right? You can just get, you know, caught up changing too many little things. Oh, I don't like the color of this. I don't like the color of that. Or this shape could be better, X, Y, Z, right? This keeps me focused and just on a path to where I can just execute, you know what I'm saying, exactly what I want to do or what I need to do in order to get the site up, right? Kind of keeps me focused. All right, so the next thing we're going to work on is I want to, all right, so in, let's see, let me just go to the actual site itself on the web. So now I'm not in the browser in Codex. I'm on, you know, the actual site itself as if I was pulling it up online or whatnot. So, you know, the next thing I want to kind of work on is this section here. And, you know, it's cool. It's not bad looking, but I do think this can look better. And then also I want to change like how some of these stats or whatnot appear when the browser is or this footer here is fully expanded, right? So as you can see, when it's fully expanded, it kind of cuts off some of the information. I want to change that to when it's in this particular mode, to something like here we have at the top. So you see we have these stats here at the top, and like they're kind of like, you know what I'm saying, just flowing and scrolling or whatnot through, you know, in order to display all of them without having this just so, you know what I'm saying, like distracting or whatever on the screen or whatnot. So I want to kind of do the same thing here, but I want it to like kind of roll up. So I'll definitely give it, you know what I'm saying, that recommendation or that guidance. But overall, I want to just polish up the look of this section over here, right? Which is like our live trade management section. All right, so let's go ahead and start to work on that now. Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and put that in. All right, let's go back to this actually. All right, cool. As you can see, like, you know what I'm saying, our changes are actually done at this point in time. So boom, like you got to kind of see it in the flesh. Like this is how easy it is, you know, to build your own, you know, apps and applications or whatnot, right? It's not hard at all, guys. All you have to do is have, you know, an actual idea of what it is that you're looking to do, and you just have to be able to communicate it. You don't have to know how to code. You don't have to know how to read code. You don't have to even understand code, right? Like, you know, all you need to be able to do is communicate what you're looking to see, and then let this take over. Oh, and all right. So one other thing, I'm gonna just tell it real quick, just so I can dead this before I forget about it. So I do not like the white stroke around the button. The stroke needs to be, you know, at a lower opacity, just like the stroke on all the other shapes within this particular page. All right. sent that, is working on it. So what I'm speaking about when I say stroke, you know, what I'm basically pause, what I'm talking about is like, you see the shape or whatnot. So like any shape has a fill, which would be like the color of the inside of it. And then it has like a stroke. The stroke is like the border around the edge or whatnot, right? So, you know, that's just a little terminology speak for you. But, you know, you didn't have to identify that stroke. I could have simply told Codex, hey, I don't like the white rim around this button. Can you, you know, make it dimmer or whatever, right? I use the word opacity. Opacity is just how, you know, translucent something is, or how like, you know, dim something can be, I guess you can say, or whatever. So, you know, I chose to say opacity just because that's how I always speak to Codex or whatever. But you could have said, you know, I want this stroke to be half as bright as it currently is, right? And, you know, it would have known what you were talking about. Or you could have gave it a screenshot of something else and said, hey, I want the rim, you know what I'm saying, of this button to be the same as what you see as in the screenshot, and boom, it would have understood what you said and kept it moving. Oh, and all right. So, all right, cool. So what it did, it actually stopped working on it for whatever reasons. I don't know why, like Codex has been doing that from time to time, but all I'm going to tell it is just to continue, you know what I'm saying, the last pass it was working on. Please continue the last annotation that I submitted. Please continue and finish working on it. All right, boom. So it's gonna pick itself back up and it's gonna get back to work. All right, so let's start working on the next thing on our hit list. All right, just full size this. Go back to the live site. All right, we got this up. So let's see, go back into my annotation mode, and now let's make the next change or whatever, right? Let's make sure this is all right. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this from a, well, we're gonna do it from this tab. That's fine, because I really wanted to work on it at the same time anyway. All right, so the current trade management side rail here, I want to more or less change the look of it. All right, I don't know if it's gonna know exactly what I was speaking on, because it kind of changed up. The screen changed up because it went back to exactly what, you know what I'm saying, I was working on before, and showing me that change, which it did it perfectly, of course. You know, what I really should have did, to be honest with you, was start like a new, you know what I'm saying, task or whatever. So right here, this is like, you know, a command center. Just take this off real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is how, you know what I'm saying, Codex looks, you know, if I am not, you know, within the actual browser phase of the site. All right. So here is where I have all the different projects. You can see I have like, you know, 2 different projects here or whatnot that I do things in. This one is for the trading terminal. And these are like just, you know, different chats that I'm discussing changes or things I want to, you know, do within the particular project. Okay, so I would look at these like tickets or whatever, right? So let's say, you know, you have an issue or not, right? So that issue is a ticket that needs to be addressed. All right, almost like if you had a restaurant and orders are coming in, every order, you know what I'm saying, is its own ticket or whatnot, right? They don't have just like one long ticket that just holds all the orders. It's a lot better organized if you have a single ticket or whatnot, right? So whenever you're actually done working on a specific issue, what you probably should do is go ahead and open up a new ticket or whatnot, right? So in order to do that, what I want to do is actually, let's see, go back to this. Let's see, let's go back to the main site, turn annotation mode off. All right, let me just copy the site. Let me go back in here, and I'm gonna just tell it to, you know, basically just open this site in your browser. All right, boom. And they'll go ahead and get that popped off. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, guys, this is like super easy to deal with, man. Like literally all you have to do is just, you know, have an idea, man. Any idea, you know what I'm saying, that you've been sitting on, that you've been thinking about, you know, that you've been wanting to, you know, create an app for or whatever. This is easily done overnight, you know. I shouldn't say easily, but like it's not what it was in the past where, I mean, honestly, guys, this site in the past, if I was trying to create this, I mean, I could easily see this being over $20,000, you know what I'm saying, to create. I have a $100 membership, you know what I'm saying, to, with OpenAI or whatnot, right? Which Codex is included with that. And that gives me enough, you know, space or leeway, or, you know what I'm saying, I have enough tokens or whatnot to use, which allows me to be able to, you know what I'm saying, build whatever I want to build or whatnot, right? OpenAI also has a $20 plan, which is probably going to be perfectly fine for most people starting off. You know, I do this, I like come in and like try to build something every single day, right? And I'm up, you know, all hours of the day or the night or whatever, actually like building or whatnot stuff, right? So my usage is kind of high. But if you starting off, man, you can get into this for like 20 bucks, right? So having to pay somebody 20, 30, 40, $50,000 to design an app, I mean, that cost has been literally reduced down to 20, right? And besides that, again, you don't need to know the language. So it's really, you know what I'm saying, no excuse these days. But all right, cool. So we're back inside Portal, and let's get our annotation thing rolling again. All right, and then let's tell it, you know, the directive of what we're looking to do. Let's see, place it here. Okay, so I'm interested in kind of revitalizing this section, right? Which is the sidecar or the side rail that shows and holds the live position, you know, stats or whatnot, right? So I basically manage, again, the live positions through this, you know, panel. What I would like to see is just it be a lot cleaner, right? I would like you to show me 3 different renditions, right, of changes that we can make to this in a separate URL. From there, I would also like to mention that I want to change the container that holds the liquidation price, entry mark, etc., into a different, I would like the state of that container to change whenever the bottom tab is fully expanded. So when the bottom tab fully expands, that container's information is basically cut off or whatnot, right? It doesn't show the full scale and the full content in that container. What I would like to have is a up-rolling, you know, I guess you can say pill or section or whatnot that scrolls upwards through all of the different stats and, you know, the different stats or whatnot from that particular container, right? Similar to how the top bar scrolls through the different stats such as 24-hour change, 24-hour volume, etc., right? For the, you know, for that particular asset chart. But I want it to, again, scroll upwards versus, you know what I'm saying, side to side or whatnot, and display all the different, you know, stats within the container that holds the liquidation, entry, mark, etc. Now, this only changes to this state when the bottom footer tab or the bottom footer is fully expanded. So the footer that holds trade, positions, open orders, etc., when that's fully expanded. All right, cool, guys. So now it's in here, right? It recorded everything I said, and it's going to start working on this. So a couple of things I did here, right? So what I got it to do is I wanted it to show me create three different visuals, you know what I'm saying, that that I could look at or whatnot, that before it actually starts to, you know what I'm saying, incorporate anything in or whatnot, right, into the actual code base itself or whatever. So that's important to do because, you know, a lot of times you want to see some options, right? Let's make Codex work a little bit. Show me 3 options. From those 3 options, I can kind of start to narrow down and pick which ones I like. And then from there, I can then have it implemented right into, you know what I'm saying, the code base, right? I also got it to check, you know what I'm saying, to make some changes to what you see here, right? As far as this little tab and, you know, as you heard me discuss. So what Codex is doing right now, and this is something important that you guys, you know what I'm saying, should you know to have or whatnot, is checking something called my brand Bible. So my brand Bible is basically a document that I got ChatGPT to create, right, for my project, that basically has instructions on how I like to see things, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, within the app, designed, you know, from design, language, to how I like the corners of the shapes to be rounded, right, to, you know what I'm saying, what type of like highlighted accents I'm cool with it doing versus not, color schemes, text size, text font, you know, boldness, thickness, you know, like basically anything that has to do with like the visuals, you know, of my site or whatnot is in my brand Bible. So whenever Codex knows, whenever I'm asking it to make like a change visually or to show me any type of like, you know, changes or whatnot, it has to go to my brand Bible first, check that out, and then see exactly, you know, and then make the changes based off of the guidelines set, you know what I'm saying, within my brand Bible or whatnot, okay? So that's exactly what you see it here, or see it, you know what I'm saying, pulling up right here or whatnot, right? All right, cool. So while that's working, we gonna keep working. All right, so we got this one knocked out and done. Boom. All right. So need to add all of the available markets and categories into the markets. Okay, so basically what I'm talking about here is that, you know, let's see. All right, so so this is Hyperliquid. This is the app that Portal actually, like, you know what I'm saying, connects to or not, right? And what I'm trying to do next is, as you can see, Hyperliquid has like a bunch of different markets, right? So it has like, you know, perp markets, perpetual spot market, right? And it's cool if you guys don't know what all of this is, but basically it has like a bunch of different, you know what I'm saying, categories of markets or whatnot within it or whatnot, right? Let's see. I actually want to screenshot this so you can understand what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna fill that up. All right, but it has a bunch of different markets. So we need to add, you know, all of this market functionality into Portal or whatnot, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to get Portal, you know what I'm saying, to work on that for us. Okay. All right. And what I'll do is, you can see it's pulling up my, again, still my, you know what I'm saying, my brand stuff, my brand Bible, and looking through it and seeing how it should be, you know, and just to show you guys, this is kind of like an example, you know what I'm saying, of the brand Bible and all different stuff, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of in it or whatever, right? Okay. But what we're going to do now is, because that's its own, this is its own separate ticket, right? So we're going to just create a new ticket. All right. And we're going to talk to Portal, or we're going to talk to Codex about what we want to do. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is paste the screenshot in, and then we're going to give it some direction. So currently inside of Portal, there are we only have the perp markets built in and streaming from Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid has many different market categories that we need to add into the market selector dropdown, right? So whenever we go to select a new market, whether it be BTC or crypto markets, I also want to see all of the other category of markets, right? Just like that, just like it is in Hyperliquid. So what we need to do is, first of all, check and see which markets are available, through Hyperliquid, and then we need to add those markets in to Portal. Please ask me any questions that you may have in order to gain clarity on what it is that I'm looking to do, so we can get this done and executed on the first try. All right, boom. So it's going to put that in. And one thing I did as well too that you guys saw, like I actually, hey, if you have questions that you need to, or thoughts, whatever that you need to clarify, man, ask me some questions so we can get this knocked out. That's a very important thing to do whenever you're talking with your coding agent, right? Because if it's confused, or it's like, if it's like 90% sure, you know what I'm saying? But let's say that 10% uncertainty was actually the pocket that you wanted to sit in, boom, it's gonna ask you, a question or whatnot about it. And then at that point, you can address it as you need to or whatnot, to make sure you just not redoing work, right? I'd rather be asked questions up front, and then after that, we get it done correctly, and as minimal tries as possible, because time is money, y'all. We don't wanna be here all day. We want to get this app live, we want to get it working, and we want to be making money from it. All right. So boom, so it's going to do a quick pass over. A pass is just like literally a pass over. Like it's going to go look at it. It's going to go and like check it out, right? Like if you was going, to, somebody say, oh man, they got a new, store that opened up, boom, boom, boom. You're like, all right, let's go check it out. Let's go, the club just let out. Man, let's go pass and just see what's popping, right? That's exactly what Codex is doing. It's doing a pass to go and check out that particular section, and then, start to decipher what it needs to actually do or whatever, right? So it says I'll do a quick pass over the existing market selector and Hyperliquid's integration, so the questions are grounded in the current code, and then I'll come back only with the decision that matters before implementation. So it says it found the current market pipeline, right? So it found the pipeline that's streaming from Hyperliquid to Portal, okay? And now it's I'm also checking Hyperliquid's live public library. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it's doing this thing. It's basically just trying to identify all of the markers that are available in Hyperliquid, and then, being able to connect the dots and get that back over, into Portal, right? So while that's twerking, let's go back and see what we got here. Oh, and all right, cool. So I ain't gonna lie, like I'm always kind of just blown away by like, how it kind of like does things or whatever, whenever you asking it for stuff. But like it never gets old or whatnot, right? So first of all, what did it do? It gave me 3 different examples of some changes I could make, to like this section or whatever, right? So it's showing me my chart on the side. Of course, that's not going to change. The thing we're focusing on is here. It also gave me 2 built-in options to show, like what the scrolling section would look like, right? And one thing you notice about this, as my puppy is chewing on his toy, one thing you'll notice about this is like, you don't have to be like mega clear what it is that you're saying and you're talking about, right? You just have to be, you can talk in circles, you can be speaking and then come back and then touch on this topic, but then go back to this topic. Like the thing that is important is that you just getting all your thoughts out. That's why I say you want to like be typing, instead of typing, you want to be talking, to your coding agent. You want to get all the points across, what I, as mumbled, as like all over the place, as non, you know what I'm saying, like, linear, as the thought that you're getting across may be, it doesn't matter. What simply matters, right, is that the communication, you know what I'm saying, as far as what you're trying to get across is just there. All right. And then Codex is going to, you know what I'm saying, like take that and it's going to use like, it's going to be like an expertise or an expert, you know what I'm saying, like decipher basically or whatnot, right? And it's going to intelligently go in and interpret what you're saying and then give you a result as close to what it could pick up, which it normally does an incredible job, right, at picking stuff up. Okay, so that's what we got here or whatnot, right? And most of this, so this is when the footer is collapsed and this is when it's expanded. All right, so we for sure don't like option 2, you know what I'm saying, because, well, I'll put it like this: we don't like what we're seeing from option 2 right now, when in this particular part as far as the scroller, because it's like way at the bottom, like, who wants that or whatever. Currently we have, in my personal opinion, we have about three different sections to kind of look at. And what we're going to do is actually piece some of these together, because what I do like, let me go back to my main site real quick. All right, so
KISS model portfolio, you get.
All right, so let's see real quick. We got this right here. We got this right here. I mean, I'm not like completely in love with any of these, to be honest with you. I like the way it did the scroller. The asset, you know what I'm saying, like thing is cool. I don't really need it to have these buttons here at the top, because whenever you hit close market, then it actually pops up a screen that asks you to confirm what you actually wanted to do. All right, so all right, boom, we're just gonna communicate real quick and then see if we could get it to do some more. Okay, so I do like what you did. Let's do this, bring this to us. All right, so I do like what you did with the scrolling, statistics or whatnot. I like the version. That you did from the command stack iteration with the scrolling statistics. All right, so I want to use that one. I like that. I would say I like the way the so basically I like the way and I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. So I like the way that the header section in the risk tape variation is. Okay, I'll send you a screenshot of exactly what I'm talking about. In the risk tape section, I think the risk tape section is probably the closest to what I do actually like and want to go with, right? As far as the header section, the scrolling stats is way too far down. It should be closer up to the rest of the you know, to the close market and limit buttons like it is in the command stack. But I do like the look of what you did in the header section in the risk tape variation. The thing I don't like is you have the 25, 50, 100% buttons or whatnot. That's not needed. That can be removed. And then we also need to still have the option to toggle back and forth between the market and then the limit, you know, buttons or whatnot, right? They shouldn't be like two separate buttons that are on different rows. They should be, you know, they should be on one row and be like a toggle button or whatnot, right? And then we should still be able to see the reverse and the break even buttons, okay? Also you have something called P&L drift, and then you have like a bar, like a progression bar, it seems, underneath it. I'm not sure exactly how fitting the progression bar is really, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the progression bar, you know, should only be there if there's really some type of progression that we're trying to lead up to, which will more or less be if we had, let's say we had like a stop loss or a take profit attached, right? Maybe the progression bar, you know, shows how far we are away from our stop loss or how progressed we are towards getting to, you know, our take profit or whatnot, right? If there's like a take profit or stop loss attached to the position or whatnot, right? So we can keep the progression bar, but its functionality needs to change up a bit or whatnot, right? When we also, you have something called, you label it like P&L drift. I think we just need to keep it labeled as unrealized P&L or whatnot, right? And I also want to still be able to see the percentage of, you know, gain or loss or whatnot that's taking place or whatever. I do like the way that container, that the P&L, you know what I'm saying, representation seems to be shading a different color versus if the position versus if the position is in versus if the position is in profit or if it's in loss or whatnot. So we want to keep that and make sure that stays the same. That stays the same. So yeah, let's make those changes. So I forgot to add my screenshot in. I'ma just add it in. It's no big deal. We can add it in and it'll know exactly what we're talking about. All right, bam. So while that's working, let's see. All right, so let's go back to our other objective we were working on. So basically it says it checks the code and Hyperliquid's current API shape. Portal currently discovers only the testnet perps via the meta and flattens everything existing perps tab. Hyperliquid now exposes separate surfaces for perp categories, etc., etc. All right, so it's asking me some questions. Should Portal discover markets from mainnet Hyperliquid even though the current trading gateway code appears testnet orientated? oriented, my recommendation, use mainnet for market discovery and chart selections, but only mark executions enabled where the current path is proven. Should spot markets be selectable now? For HIP3 markets, do you want to trade them immediately or visible with a clear category deployer tag first? Should the selector mirror Hyperliquid's UI exactly? All per spot. For many for markets that Hyperliquid exposes but Portal cannot fully support yet, can they be hidden or shown as disabled only with a badge? All right, so let's roll through this. All right, so basically, when you ask me should Portal discover markets from Hyperliquid mainnet, I mean, that's, you know, so basically we're on testnet right now, and what I want to be able to do is any markets that are on the testnet, right, and selectable within Hyperliquid, they should be selectable within Portal currently, right? Now, whenever we go to mainnet, then yeah, of course, right, the markets need to be, you know what I'm saying, you know, adjusted to be able to work with Hyperliquid's mainnet versus its testnet or whatnot, right? So use whatever discerning you think would be acceptable based off of that information for me. All right, so you also asked me, should spot markets be selectable now? Yeah, if spot markets are available in Hyperliquid's testnet or whatnot, they should be selectable. And if, you know, those spot markets can be accessed with Portal, you know what I'm saying, through like builder codes and everything, then yes, they should be selectable. Basically any market that's selectable in Hyperliquid that Portal can also connect to and actually place markets or place orders on the Hyperliquid engine, you know what I'm saying, we want to be able to have those markets visible and you know, accessible, tradable within Portal. You asked me also for HIP TradeFi markets, do I want them to be tradable immediately? If they're tradable in the testnet in Hyperliquid, then yes, I want them tradable, you know what I'm saying, within Portal. Let's see, example duplicates exist across builder dexes like Gold, KM Gold, so Portal needs to preserve the dex identity somewhere. Okay, sure, yeah, let's do whatever we need. Use the suggestion to, you know, use your discerning to make it correct. All right, so is that you asking me, should the selector mirror Hyperliquid's UI categories exactly? For the most part, it should. The only thing we don't want to include is the all button. I don't feel like it's necessary. And then also in Portal's market selector, there is a button for non-tradable like index. I think it's called like signal, you know what I'm saying, charts. That still needs to stay where it is, right? So that still needs to be the first button or whatnot, the first tab or whatever, whenever you open up the market selector. But after that, it can mimic everything else. We just don't need the all button. For markets that Hyperliquid exposes. So if it's any market that Hyperliquid exposes, but we can't trade in Portal based off of any type of, you know, inability, you know, that Hyperliquid sets for, I guess, front ends that are using a builder code to not be able to trade, then yeah, we can, you know, we can show them, but maybe show them as like disabled, you know what I'm saying, with a badge like you suggested or whatnot. So yeah, but overall, you know, those are my thoughts, but you know, let's go with your suggestion as far as your first pass implementation, so we can get this right and get this working. All right, cool. All right, so we submitted that. It's probably gonna take a little while. I was talking a lot for it to go ahead and do its thing. All right. Oh man, unable to transcribe audio. I hate when that happens. All right, so let's just refresh it. A lot of times when you refresh it, it'll come back up. All right, perfect, boom, let's go. Nothing beats a second try, right? All right, so that's twerking. Let's get back to what we got here. All right, cool. Now it's showing me, did it show me? Did it change my examples? All right, boom. So yeah, it did. I wanted it to really show me like multiple versions of like what it has here. All right, so let's talk to Codex and get this correct. All right, so the risk tape option is the option that is closest to what I want to see or whatnot, right? So what I would like you to do is show me 3 different variations based off of, you know, the narrowing in of the risk tape option that we want to go with. But I want to see like these changes were not made. But again, I do want to see 3 different variations. So, you know, we can kind of have some optionality to pick the best one or whatnot, right? The first thing that I want to do is remove the text that says live position at the very top. There's no need for that to be there. The second thing is that the bar so within the container that shows the unrealized P&L container, you know, the percentage looks a little stuffed at the top. I don't really like how that is. Let's try to reorientate that to just make it look cleaner. Also, the progress bar that says stop loss, take profit or whatnot, as far as how close we are to it. I want one of them to show up one of them to show up at a time, right? I don't think it needs to be both the stop loss and the take profit, you know, showing up in one instance. So meaning if the position is in profit, the take profit progression bar should be what actually shows up. And if the position is in loss, the stop loss progression bar should be what actually shows up and is, you know, displaying how, you know, close that the position is to hitting the stop loss or the take profit, you know, through the filling of the progression bar or whatnot, right? As far as the limit and the limit in the market toggle button, this is working pretty cool. I would like the animation of it switching from bar to bar to actually be something, you know, to actually be sliding, right? Versus like just appearing, right? To where it slides from, you know, option to option for whether it's market or limit. Similar to how, you know, we have in other places in Portal. And then also I want the stroke color to be like the bright neon purple color that we have in Portal in the footer, like in the trade opening or the trade starting panel that, you know, is in like the footer tab or whatnot, right? So the stroke right now is like a bright white. It needs to be like that same neon purple or whatnot, right? And it needs to slide from option to option versus like, you know what I'm saying, just appearing or whatever. So yeah, let's look at 3 other examples or whatnot, right? That kind of give the changes that I just spoke to you. Also, for the buttons at the bottom that say market close, reverse, and break even, those buttons, like whenever I'm hovering over them, don't like highlight or, you know, just show that they're, you know, being hovered over or whatnot, right? There needs to be some type of there needs to be some type of hover effect that's on that as well. So again, show me 3 different examples based off of, you know, what we just discussed. All right, cool. So that's cooking, and we got the other thing cooking. And while that's doing that, guys, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna start another tab, and we're gonna get to work on something else. All right. All right. So we did this. We ran through that. All right. So this is another thing I want to do. Okay. So I want to put, boom, copy this. I want to put a running ticker like we have in the header that shows asset. That shows the asset statistics such as funding, etc., in the blank space of the footer. But in it, I wanted to display verbiage on highlighted hero features of Portal that I wanted to. Okay, so I wanted to name a feature and then give a short summary of what it is. This should not be a bland summary that is overly technical, but instead should be summarized in a way that makes the user intrigued and curious about the feature. All right, basically what I'm doing here is I want this section right here. What I'm saying is I want this to be like basically like a you know what I'm saying, like an advertisement section that, you know, more or less like talks about different, you know what I'm saying, like features or whatnot that we have within Portal that would be attractive to, you know what I'm saying, like users and stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this first. All right. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to paste this in. All right. And then let's see. I'm going to come back and just copy this text since this basically highlights what it is I'm talking about. All right. Bet. Put that in there. Ask me any questions that you need for clarity. Also, before we make any changes to the code base, let's get a separate URL open with some visual examples of how you chose to design this. I want to see 4 different examples. All right, bet. So we gonna get that to start working. All right, and while that's working, man, we gonna keep working. Oh, we're not, right? So, all right, guys, and let's see. So we got this in there. Perfect. All right, man. So we've almost run through this entire list, to be honest with you. At least a lot of the easy, you know, quick wham bam, thank you ma'am hits that we can do on it. All right, so we need to set up a portfolio page that gives users a breakdown of statistics involving their P&L similar to Hyperliquid. I think I did this low key. Let's see. Let's go to Portal portfolio. Oh no, I didn't. All right. I thought I was working on this at one point in time. All right. All right. All right, cool. So yeah, we can't work on that then. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna copy it. And look, guys, all you have to do is give visual examples to just be a start off, you know what I'm saying, of what you want to see. All right. And then from there, after you have, you know what I'm saying, your visual examples and everything, you know, like set up and ready to, you know, set up or screenshot or whatever, you just add that into Portal and like let that be a base. You know, you don't want to copy directly with you know, you don't want to copy that example directly. You could if you wanted to. I don't like to do it, you know, but you want to use it as like, okay, this is a reference, right? This is inspiration. This is an example of what I'm talking about, but I want to design in Portal's flavor, right? So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna start a new chat. All right. come back and copy this. All right, and then we're gonna give it some further direction. I do want to see the three different examples of this done in Portal's style and flavor in a separate like URL. Please also ask me any questions that you may need for clarity. All right, let's let that work. And God, this is basically all it is, man. We just going through our hit list. This is why it's good to have that hit list, because you can go through this and just, you know what I'm saying, like just work, just get it done, you know. Start new tickets and get it done. So let's see, we need to build out and define something I'm going to call profit take loss skills. All right, so that we're going to work on a little bit later. Polish and connect, polish the wallet connect and into Portal. All right, so shoot, let's just start on this. I'm not gonna take it out right now, just copy it. So when I'm speaking of the wallet connect, let's see, what I'm talking about is basically how this shows up. I feel like this is like whack, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, if we were looking at Hyperliquid or any other, you know what I'm saying, exchange. Let's see, let's go to Hyperliquid here. All right, so, dang, it's not gonna show it on that. Let me see, cause I'm already connected. Let's try this. Let's try going to Phoenix trade. Yeah, let's try going to this. It's not gonna let me connect because I'm in. Let's try going to MetaMask. Let's see if we can get to MetaMask wallet. All right. Oh, hold up. Let's try this. Let's see if we have an existing wallet. Nah, we don't want to do that. Damn, I don't want to do all that. All right. It's all good. We just gonna for the sake of time right now, we just gonna let it come up with its own rendition of it or whatever, right? All right, so we're gonna annotate this. All right, so I want to refresh in this section or whatnot, which is the Wallet Connect pop-up window. To me, it just looks kind of dated, looks kind of old, it looks kind of boring, bland, right? I want it to like look a lot more Portal or whatever, and just have a much cleaner, you know, yeah, just a much cleaner UI or whatnot, right? A much more impressive UI or whatnot, right? So what I would like you to do is show me create 3 different visuals for this that I can potentially look at and choose from in like a separate URL. Yeah, so we can make this the best it possibly can. It can be or whatnot, right? I would say the first thing is that it needs to, you know, identify which wallets that you already have available, let's say within your, you know, as like an extension in your browser, and then allow you to pick from those, or allow you to, choose a new wallet through like, Wallet Connect or anything like that, right? That stuff kind of needs to be separated, or it needs to be two different, hierarchies that, define those two different, groupings of selections or whatever, or whatnot. But the main thing is I want it to look really clean, and I wanted to, just look portal, right? Look cool and clean. All right, so we got that popping off and working. All right, cool. So now let's go back to our footer. All right, so it's giving me a couple of different, like 4 different options or whatever. All right, let's see. All right, so I would say all right, so I think I will go with option 1, but I don't want, like, I want the text to like fade. I don't want the ending to be as strong as it is now or whatever, right? So we gotta bring this back to 100. Try 90. All right, so what I'm gonna do is all right, so I do like option 1 the best, I believe, but what I wanted to do is actually, so the end of the two ends or whatnot, I want them to look more of like a fade versus like a hard cutoff or whatnot, right? Similar to how the tape fades within the header section, right? For the different statistics as far as like the 24-hour change and the volume and the funding and all that type of stuff, right? For like Uncharted asset. So I wanted to have that same type of visual fade, as the script is being cut off versus this hard cutoff that I'm seeing now, So yeah, let's make that change. Also, I would like to see an option where instead of it scrolling, side to side or whatnot, I would like to see it like kind of, scrolling upwards as well too. I would like to see an option of it scrolling upwards, but how I want it to work is that, whatever the message is, as far as the feature or whatever, I want it to stay on the screen for like a certain amount of time, maybe like, you know what I'm saying, 5 seconds. And then after that 5-second cooldown period is up, the scroller actually scrolls itself up, right? Or whatnot, right? So yeah, I would like to see that for the vertical scroller or whatever, right? But I want to see the side scroller like we just discussed as well too, the horizontal side scroll tape or whatnot. But I also want to see a second option that shows it doing the vertical scroll in the manner I just discussed. So show me those two different variations in a as well. Yeah, I don't really like, I for sure don't like this with that box around it. I don't like that one either. Let's see. How this is now on the site, I wasn't terribly offended by it, to be honest with you. How it was just right there or whatever. Let me just do this. Let's do a screenshot. All right, let's do that. All right, so yeah, that's basically the only thing that needs to change. I'm cool with the I'm cool with everything else. Nah, I'm gonna get it to change this to SL too. Oh, and all right. So let's do this. All right. All right, so I would say risk tape C is the closest to what I want to see, but I want the percentage number to be aligned more with the bottom, to be aligned on the same, level as the actual numerical, position value. Like I want it to be aligned more towards the bottom, similar to how the screenshot that I've attached shows or whatnot. Also, instead of having the word stop loss spelled out, what I would like it to do is just have the letters SL, right? Capital S, capital L, which represents stop loss. And if this was in profit, I would like, instead of it saying like take profit, I would like it just to have the letters TP, right? Which stands for take profit. So let's make that change, and then let me see how that looks. All right, cool. It's probably gonna tell me that it's yeah, unable to transcribe audio again. So yeah, whenever that happens, man, just try to hit the refresh button at the bottom to make it go again. It's still storing what you said, but you know, sometimes it needs some assistance. All right, bet. So it's got that in. Working on that. Let's see what we got back over here. All right. So this is the first option. I mean, it's all right. It's just a little busy. Yeah. All right, so with this, I don't want it to say like recommended. I mean, we're not recommending anything. You know what I'm saying, to be honest with you. So that can go away. This wallet gateway text can go away. All right, let's just break it down the portal real quick. All right, so basically the things, so a couple of things I want to get rid of. We can get rid of the text at the very top that says wallet gateway. We can get rid of the text that underneath connect wallet that says portal found extension wallets in the browser. Choose one directly or open a new connection route below. We can get rid of that. We can also get rid of the badges that show recommended or detected or whatnot within the actual, you know, shapes of the wallets themselves. That can go. Also, if we can find like, and so right now there's like a badge that sits next to, you know what I'm saying, the wallets themselves. I'm sorry, the description of the wallet, right? That either said, you know, it says like, it's just filled in with like letters, RAME, right? CO for Coinbase, WC for Wallet Connect. I mean, if we can find like actual logo images that represent these, you know what I'm saying, you know, wallets, that would be a lot better than having, you know what I'm saying, the RA and stuff on them. You know, if not, if we can't, then we can just remove those badges, you know what I'm saying, like all together, to be honest with you. I don't like the way the X button looks at the in the top right hand corner, where it has like the circle around it and the X is like really bolded lettering wise or font wise. So, you know, the X needs to be just positioned more towards the left corner, more into the left corner or whatnot, the top left corner. Sorry, not left, right, the top right corner. And it doesn't need to have that circle around it, and it doesn't need to be bolded. But yeah, show me like 3 different options that reflect the changes that I've asked you to make to the option A. All right. Let's see, get that popping off. Yeah, the annotation keeps refreshing. Oh, I keep having to refresh it. I see I have an update here. If it start getting too out of hand, I might just update it. But okay. All right, so we got that working or whatever, right? All right, bet. So the next thing, let's go back to the ticker and see what it came up with as far as different. It's fading, but it's got like this shape around it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got like this shadow shape around it still, which makes it look like it's not fading. But in all honesty, I like this better. But we need to change the way this works a little bit or whatnot, right? So how I ideally would like this to work. So this is good. So, you know, I like what it's doing here, but you can, you know, and dang, I'm not sure if this is just because of like how this screen is, but you see how it's like cut off or whatever. What I would like it to do, if it's cut off, if it has like, instead of showing the dots, what it should do is there should be basically a line that separates, right? There should be a line here that separates the subject, right, of the actual feature subject versus the feature itself versus the description of the feature. So a line in between these two, right? That if, you know what I'm saying, the full feature can't be seen with, and there's like, instead of having those 3 dots, it needs to scroll. The tape needs to kind of scroll or whatnot, you know, from, I guess it would be from right to left or whatnot, right? Until it shows the entire definition of the feature. All right. All right, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I like option 2 the best, the vertical signal step, but I want to make a change to it. So what I want to do is I want to put like a small, you know, line, vertical line that separates the feature name and the definition of the feature. And what I would like to have happen is, if the feature definition is too long to house itself fully, to render itself fully within the space that the definition is visible in, then I would like the definition to scroll like you know, basically in the fashion of like a tape ticker, to scroll from right to left or whatnot, right, so that the whole feature definition can be seen and viewed by the user. It needs to scroll in a way that isn't too fast, and if a definition is so long to where it does have to scroll, the vertical feature change should not actually progress until the full feature definition has been slid through on the slider. Show me 3 different renditions of this change for the vertical signal step option. All right. Boom, that's working. All right, so we got some stuff here. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, bet. I like this. This dope. All right, so we about to put this into production right now. All right. Yeah, we about to put this into production on them. All right. Bet. So what is this? Option C. All right, so option C is perfect. Let's go ahead and add that into the actual Codebase in Portal. Okay. All right, so this is for like the P&L. All right, so this is option 1, seems like concept 1. All right, I definitely don't like concept 3. And then concept 2 is like, I mean, it's not really showing me the daggone P&L. I mean, okay. All right, so just being real, Yeah, I mean, concept one is kind of like the closest to what I'm looking for because it has like a graph, net P&L. Let me see some. And then we have this here, but I don't really think this is necessary as far as the BT perps, where P&L came from, session, hour, and day age map. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like the edge map situation. Improvement over aggregate P&L cost drag fees consumed. All right, so I like max drawdown net P&L profit factor, account value net P&L. All right, so I do like the like okay, I see what it's saying. So realized, unrealized. So like if you have a position, so all right, yeah, that makes sense to have it now. Yeah, all right, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so we're gonna go with option one. We're gonna go with concept one, but we also want to add this heat map, this called like the heat map section, and then like the cost drag, setup quality, and time and leak or not as well too. So let's all right, let's do this. All right, cool. So what I do like, I like concept one. When not, that looks really good. I would also like to add though some things from concept two, which would be the session heat, hour and day edge map, and then also the cost drag, setup quality, and timing leak. You know what I'm saying, like statistics and containers or whatnot. I also would like it to have a, more or less map that, map, graph, image, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that more or less shows you how you performed over different sessions, right? So when I'm saying sessions, I'm talking about New York session, London session, Asian session, etc., any other sessions that are available. I would like to see some type of, like map, graphic, chart, whatever, that displays that information too, right? So again, the concept one is the concept that I like and I want to use, but I want to add those different things that I talked about to concept one. Give me 3 different examples of, these changes or whatnot. All right. All right, bet that's working. All right, so all right, cool. So now we got this actually like we got this on the site now as far as the change we did to the change that we did to, let's look at it on the actual site. Boom. Let's see how this actually working. Come on, load up. All right, that's taking a little while to load up. We'll see why that's doing that. In the meantime, let's just go back here. All right. All right, so one thing I do see, it didn't follow like the instructions all the way, because this should just be showing. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever this should just be full screen. You know what I'm saying? Whenever this thing isn't collapsed, and when it, you know, it's gonna be kind of funky on here because it's like it's not, the sizing of the screen isn't, you know what I'm saying, all the way what it should be or whatever. But like yeah, it needs, this needs to yeah, this needs to switch up a bit. Let's see. Why is this not loading up? Tripping. Let's see something. Oh, you know why? It's probably getting worked on in the background, low key. Oh yeah, see, it's working right. One thing I do see, I don't like how the text, you know what I'm saying, kind of changes or whatever. Like that doesn't really need to change. Like the text needs to just be, you know what I'm saying, what it is or whatever. And this needs to be centered as best as it can in between like this area and like the bottom of this area. You see what I'm saying? Like it needs to be like centered like in the middle of this versus, well, I guess you really can't do that because you know what, thinking about it, like if I was on my browser and my screen size was like this, for example, which is big as hell. Man. Let's see. So, yeah. Let's see. So what kind of happened is this, right? Whenever we made the changes to this or whatnot, and this box doesn't need to be purple, but whenever we made the changes to this, then to this section or whatnot, like it gave this a whole lot more space, you know what I'm saying, at the bottom. So yeah, all right, so what we're gonna do is this. Let's see. All right. see, it's still, let me see something. Let me just do this real quick. All right, yeah, let's do this real quick. So first of all, I want to add some stuff to this. All right, so in this section, I also want to, underneath the entry and mark price. So underneath the mark price, I want to add 2 other statistics into this section, right? I want to add a stop loss and take profit lines that show exactly, you know, what the stop loss and take profit, the set stop loss and take profit is for the position at hand. The stop loss should be on one line and the take profit should be on a separate line or whatnot, right? The way they should be displayed is just SL and TP. And they should, you know, the text and everything should mimic, you know what I'm saying? The style of the font and the text and everything should mimic exactly what's already here. You know, should fall in line with what is already the design preference within this section. If there is no stop loss or take profit set, I wanted to say, I wanted to show NA, right? For it, not available. Also, when this section is, this section turns into a vertical scroller, whenever the bottom footer tab is expanded. The thing I don't like that I'm seeing is that the actual text changes when to a different opacity, boldness, and font. I want, whenever the vertical scrolling footer is present, I want the text to remain the same as it is when this section is in the state that it shows from, or when the footer is collapsed. Also, there are basically containers around each of the statistics whenever the footer is expanded and these stats are scrolling. I want to eliminate those container lines, those border lines around each of the stats. So let's make these changes, and yeah, let's make the changes. All right, cool. So we got that. All right, that's working. Let's see what else we got popping off, man. Oh, damn, I should have told it to change this too. Let me just load that up before I forget. Let's just switch this back to 100%. All right. And I probably could just, let me see something. I probably could just change the stroke. All right, so yeah, here we go. Border color. I want to change this. And I want to make it the same border color as this right here. Let's see if I can just do that by pressing on this real quick. Border color. No, that's not working. All right, so let me just give it a breakdown. So I don't like the color, the current purple border color around this this container. Let's go ahead and change that border color to like the same border color. Basically the same border color that's around the footer shape that holds the tabs. It's just like a a bland border color. Let's go ahead and make that change. All right, we'll see if it does that right. All right, so I won't inject that right now. I'll just let it finish what it's doing first. And then all right, yeah, let's just let that do that. All right, let's go back to Hyperliquid. Let's see. All right, it did better with this. This is still not what I would like to see as far as the, what I'm saying, the images and stuff like that. Wallet Connect is cool. Coinbase Wallet has like a different logo than this or whatnot. So like that needs to that could change or whatever. But like, oh, another thing I want to change too is these definitions. Like, we don't need all that. All right, but other than that, this is good. Let's go ahead and change this. All right, so I would say the definitions next to the actual wallet names, right? So you have Rabby, and then you have best fit for Hyperliquid, MetaMask, use the install extension. Like all of that can come off. Like we don't need that for anything, right? So whether it's Coinbase Wallet, Wallet Connect, etc., right? Those definitions that come after all of the wallet names or the wallet, descriptions, we can eliminate that. We don't need that. That may also allow us to kind of change the layout a bit to where the layout of this a bit to where the containers or the shapes that contain the different wallet options maybe could be presented better. So won't you give me 3 examples of different layout changes based off of the fact that we don't have those defining text next to each of the wallet names, so I can choose from them and select which ones I like the best. Oh fuck! I mean, shoot, they kind of already did that. Yeah, so they kind of already did that here. All right. Let me see something. Let me stop that. Oh, dang, I stopped the wrong one. It's all good. Let's just get it. Please continue the last annotated pass. All right, let's see. This is the one I wanted to stop. Yeah, see, this is basically, yep, this is basically what I wanted to see. But I like the way that the logo is not like in a container, similar to option 2. Yeah, I should have kept scrolling down. All right, see, yeah, you know, Codex get to learn, you know what I'm saying, what you like. It was already here, you know what I'm saying, the compact grid. So this is what I really want to go with. Let's do this. All right, so I stopped the last pass because I actually noticed that you had an option that I actually liked and wanted to go with. So option A3, the compact grid option, is what I want to actually, you know, roll with for the Wallet Connect visuals. But I would like to have, I like the way the logos in option A2 aren't like on a background or whatnot. So for example, yeah, like the logos aren't inside of a container, right? Let's add the containerless logos to the design that you did in option A3. Let's see that. All right. Got that popping. All right. Let's go back to this here. So we got, yeah, this was the pass I stopped. All right, so this was the, this was it redoing the, whatchamacallits. All right, so you got this, then you got the hourly and day heat map like I wanted, cool. But it didn't add like the sessions I was talking about. Oh snap! All right, this is, yeah. I'm looking at this 1000% wrong because this was already kind of that. All right, but look, it did some different. Yeah, but all right, so definitely option 3 is gonna be the way to, example 3 is gonna be the way to go with this. All right, I like this. Oh, but you know what we don't have in here? We don't have the, wait, we don't have the, what actually paid you. Yeah, we don't have that, you know. Yeah, this is good. This is perfect. The only thing that would actually paid you needs to be next. You know what I'm saying? Like it needs to be yeah, all right. So I see what I don't like about this one. So option all right, let's just look at this. What actually paid you? All right, so I do like, All right. All right, so let's see. Let's do this. Let's see. Show device 2. I don't know why this got stupid like that, but all right. So I like option 1 setup, right? So how we have this here at the top, and then we have the source heat map. Cool, hour and edge. But I also like yeah, I like all right, so this is what we're gonna do. So I like this, right? And I like option 1, example 1. What can happen is that this section here that I gave you a screenshot from option 2 can go into option 1. Okay. In between, like I wanted to basically go in between yeah, all right, in between, like here, you know what I'm saying, in between like the equity curve P&L source row. All right, bet. So I know what I'm about to do. But then I also want, like, one thing I do like from here is like it's like I do like how it showed in this chart here. I like how it showed in this chart here. Like I do like this breakdown, dang bro. Like, so I do like this this win percentage, the number of trades, and then also the P&L. All right, let me put this in here, and then I'm gonna take a screenshot of this too. Like, yeah, I like how it shows like the time window that happened. Okay. All right, so I like example 1 the best. Okay, that's basically what we're gonna roll with. But I would like to add from example 2 the row that has the session performance map and the session stack, right? I would like to add that row in between the row that has the equity curve and the P&L source, or underneath the row that has the equity curve and the P&L source, right? From example 1. I've included a screenshot of what I'm referencing from example 2. So you can have a visual of what I'm saying I want to go under the equity curve and P&L source, the row that those two items sit on. Also, I do like from example 3 how it shows what the time window, the P&L, and the win percentage, and then the number of trades that are associated with each of those sessions. with each of the different sessions. So I want to find a way to incorporate that in as well too, tastefully. I've included a screenshot so you know exactly what I'm speaking about. Let's me see 3 examples that basically show what I'm communicating to you. I like about all of the different sections or whatnot, right? And again, example 1 is what I want to go with. I just want to see example 1 in different renditions based off of the different elements I told you I wanted to pull from example 2 and example 3. All right, that's cooking. So, all right, we'll let that do its thing. All right, bet. So, all right, let's see this now. All right, this is perfect. All right, the only small change I want to change is at the bottom where it's like, all right, so this is option A3 is basically perfect. That's the one I want to roll with. The only change I want to make is that I want to change the text at the bottom that says account access only, no seed phrases, no private keys, to the text from at the bottom from option A1, which says, you know, something along the lines of portal will never ask you for seed phrases or private keys, you know, whatever it says in there. But I want that text here instead of the current text that's in option A3. But I would say we can actually, you know, make that change to the text and then incorporate option A3 into the actual portal code base. All right. Cool. So we got that on here. All right. That's something else. Open terminal site. What was this? So I like the color of the current purple border. Okay, so it's saying it did that. Let's see. Baby, go. Y'all wanna see my puppy? Up, 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 up. Say what's up, baby. You on camera, my boy? All right, sit down, puppy. That's my dog Vader right there. Whenever I'm cool and he's up here with me. Huh, puppy? Good boy. All right, so what I'm trying to do is open a page up for the site. Let's see. and make sure it just did the little thing I wanted it to do, which was taking that purple border from around. All right, it's still trying to load up all the way. We'll let it finish doing this thing. All right, what is this? Okay, yeah. So this is what we were asking for before. The only thing that kind of sucks is like, all right. Oh, you know I wanted to tell it? Oh no, it did. It kept it here. All right. Let me see something real quick. Let me just, hold on, let me close this because that might be throwing it out too. So, all right. So I would say with this, man, like the thing I would change on this is that, and guys, if you're just joining, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like we're working on Portal, which is my app that I vibe coded. Basically is an exchange that, you know, I'm building to take on Coinbases of the world, the Robinhoods, et cetera, right? And I'm building this all myself or whatnot, right? Through Codex, which is a program through ChatGPT. And right now we're just in the midst of looking at a couple of different options that I got, you know, Codex to create that more or less, you know, shows a feature I guess you could say a feature that I want to add into Portal itself or whatnot. So, and right now we're looking at just this little notification bar, which highlights like several features or like, you know, some of the hero or the money features or whatnot that we built into Portal. And, you know, we're going over them and just like looking at what we want to keep and what we want to change. All right, I see what the difference is too. As you can see, this text is different on the three of these as well too. All right. All right, so all right, so we're gonna go with option 3 because I like how like the fade or whatnot, but the fade needs to be the same on option on the left, yeah, that fade needs to be the same on the right hand, the left hand side as it is on the right hand side. And then I don't like this. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like a faint shape or container around it. I don't like that. And then also this wording here needs to be closer to the line or not, right? So it's not like bouncing and you know, meshing against what we got over here with our tabs. So let's go ahead and communicate that real quick. Yeah, let's just go ahead and communicate that real quick and get that working. All right, so rendition 3 is the rendition that I want to go with, but there are a few changes that I want to make to it. The first change is that there seems to be a overall, you know, container shape around the you know, the section or whatnot that we're adding. I want to remove that container. I just want everything to sit on the background of the footer tab or whatnot, right? I don't want it to be encapsulated with inside of a separate shape or container. The second thing I want to talk about is the actual feature name itself. I want that to be much closer to the separator line that sits in between the feature name and the definition. Right now it's leaning more towards the side of the tabs or whatnot, or it's leaning close to the space that the actual tabs take up within the footer header or whatnot, right? I want to push it over to where it's much closer to that actual separator line. The very last thing is that as the so currently on the right hand side of the definition space, there is a fade that happens, right? So when the continuation of the text comes in, it's a fade that, you know what I'm saying, reveals the text on the right hand side. I want that same fade to be present on the left hand side. Right now it's just like a hard cutoff, and I don't really like that. I want it to fade in and out. Also, I want the text itself to be looped. So instead of it stopping at a certain, you know, looks like it stops kind of like at the midpoint of the definition, and then it'll vertically go up to the next one. Instead of it stopping at the midpoint, I want the entire definition to loop through until it gets back to its starting point. And then when it's at its starting point of the definition, then it can actually go ahead and scroll up. So let's make those changes, and then, you know, let's see that. All right. All right, guys. So we got that working. All right, bet. So now let's go back into let's do this real quick. Let's go back here. All right, so we got that working. All right, let's see what we got with the all right, cool. Yeah, I changed that. Let's see what we got within this hyperliquid market thing. All right. That's tripping. Let's go ahead and just reopen this web page and see what we got. Actually, though, we can just probably check on the actual web page itself. Let's see what we got popping off in this. All right, so I mean, shoot, they added everything in here, but I mean, the problem is like none of the markets are actually visible. You know what I'm saying, within it. none of the categories of markets are actually, you know what I'm saying, like visible within it or not, you know. So if I went to, let's see, beta, leave it. If I went into Portal, I mean Hyperliquid itself, and I'm on this Hyperliquid's testnet. The testnet is basically where I'm testing all my features to make sure everything's working right. This isn't like a real position or anything like that open, but I just want to see if I can actually trade these markets here, which, yeah, I can, you know what I'm saying? So like, this is, let's see, this is a testnet market, HIP3. Oh shoot, maybe you can't. Oh no, yeah you can. No, shoot, maybe you can't. All strict HIP3 testnet NVIDIA. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, you can. You can trade all these markets in here, bro. Why y'all don't have that in there? Yeah, no. We need that working. Hombre. HIP3, all strict, all. Damn, what happened? We was just. Oh, I typed something in. All right. Yeah, so. Yeah, that should, you know, we should be able to see all those markers in there. You know what I'm saying? This shouldn't be like a big secret or nothing. Yeah, man. All right, so let's go ahead and paste this in there. So, all right, so I do see where you have the different tabs within the market selector for all of the different, you know, market categories that Hyperliquid lists in the testnet. The problem is that whenever I go to any one of the tabs in Hyperliquid, I don't see any of those tradable markets. They're not filled out. They're not streaming in from Hyperliquid to Portal currently. The end goal of this should be where all of the markets that are currently streaming and visible within the testnet on Hyperliquid should be visible and tradable, right, within Portal, right? To where whenever I am testing and trading those markets on Portal, they also execute within the testnet in Hyperliquid. Also, the current market selector has some of the markets stacked under, like they have the markets stacked in two different rows. Oh, and I would much rather all the markets be visible on one row, similar to what it is, you know, on Hyperliquid. If we need to change the actual size of the market selector container, or either the scale of the visible options in the market selector container, we can. It still needs to be, you know, not too small in order for us to be able to access it correctly and tastefully, you know what I'm saying, like size more or less is what I'm saying. But besides that, again, all the markets that are available in Hyperliquid are not currently showing in Portal. We need to fix that. Get that to do its thing. All right, let's check this out now. Let's see what we got working with this. All right, so we got this one. That's dope. All right, yeah, that's pretty dope. So, this pretty much has everything we want in there. Example one is looking the best right now, but let's see what else we got. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I actually like this one a little bit better because it doesn't have this on this row, which could be a little bit confusing. The one thing I would say, we need to clean like how this looks up. Like this doesn't match the aesthetics of everything else. You know what I'm saying? This looks cool. This looks like it came straight from a spreadsheet or something. We need to clean that up. All right, bet. So example 2 is the best, but we just need to clean up this table because it just, yeah, it looks spreadsheety. All right, let's do that. All right, so I like example 2 the best. That's the one that I want to go with. Let's use that one as the source of truth. But before we actually implement it into the code, I believe the time windows session performance by Windows table it just doesn't fit the aesthetic of the rest of the look within the portfolio page. So what we need to do is we need to change the aesthetic to be more matching and more similar, and have a closer relation and feel to what the rest of the graphics and everything from the page do. This looks like it kind of came from just pulled from a spreadsheet, which is whack, and we don't want that. Let's see 3 examples of different iterations as far as you doing a change to the time window session by performance kind of table. All right. All right, while that's working, guys, let's go in and see. All right, what were we working on here? Let's see. All right, so the option 3 is basically perfect. I want to roll the change. The only change I will make is I want to add okay, bet. So we got that done. That's all right. So let's just test it out to see what we got. Wireless connect. All right, it doesn't it's not loading up with the what you call them though. Let's see. And we also got to figure out why Portal is taking so long to load. You know what I'm saying? Get Codex to do an audit and then get that changed up too for sure. All right, let's see. Connect wallet. Yeah, see, it's let me see some. Let me see if it's gonna look different. You know what I'm saying, like in the actual Portal app or whatever. All right, so let's see. Connect wallet. Yeah, see, it's whack. So I mean, this is working right though, because look, it's saying the 3 that's available: Rabby, MetaMask, and Phantom, right? And then it's asking me if I want to connect to another one of these wallets. Yeah, so, but the thing is, like, the MetaMask and then the Phantom logo is not showing on there. So we actually do want to see that on there. Yeah, dig. All right, so Let's do this. All right, so this looks really good. The only things the things I would say is that currently the MetaMask and then the Phantom Wallet logos aren't showing up. We need to, find those logos and add them in or whatever. Yeah, we need to find those logos and add those logos in. Also, under the text that says portal never requests seed phrase or private keys. Okay, so the next sentence that says QR route requires next public wallet connection project ID, delete that. Delete that sentence that says QR routes require next public wallet connect project IDs. Let's delete that. And then also do what I requested as far as like the logos for MetaMask and Phantom. All right. All right. All right, this is much better. Oh, that's clean. I like how I kind of did it before it even got all the way over there. Yeah, that's actually pretty clean. The last thing I want to do is just take this glow shape from around these two things, just so I can dead that and have that done. All right, cool. So this is really clean. That looks really good. You did a really good job on the execution. The last thing I want to actually do is there's a outer glow shape around the dot that's next to the feature name. And then there's there's also another outer glow shape that is around the line that separates the feature name and the definition. Let's remove both of those glow shapes. After that, we should be good to actually implement this into Portal's code base. All right, cool. So we'll get it to work on that. And then we'll wait and see once that's done dotted. All right, let's see. All right, so we got that done, guys. This is being worked on. All right, so this is all right, so that's being worked on as far as adding all the different markers into Hyperliquid or into Portal. This is being worked on with different renditions of what I want. As far as that table is concerned. And then this was the Rabbit wallet thing. All right, yeah. All right, so yeah, we pretty much, man, we got most of this working, to be honest with you. So we're just gonna finish up. We're gonna finish this up, and then that'll probably be it for today, guys. We've been going for, man, we've been almost going for 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's been a good stream. Time flies when you're having fun. But again, guys, I mean, look, this is what it is, man. This is vibe coding in a nutshell or whatnot, you know. Anything's possible. I'm working on a site that I'm building, guys, but you guys can build anything, you know what I'm saying, out there or whatnot, you know. So yeah, you just got to dig into it, start working around, start playing around with it or whatnot, and just, you know, and just get to building, just get to communicating with your coding agent, basically. All right. All right, 1 second, guys. Let me just check on something real quick. Let's see. All right, back. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. So, all right, so we got, let's go up. All right, that looks good. Don't like it. Don't like it. All right, so I don't like any of these. I didn't really want you to change the style of the bar, the style of the, you know, the layout of the what can I call this? The layout of the table, if you will. Like, I didn't want you to really change that. I just wanted you to make it look more like the design of everything else within the portfolio page, because right now it doesn't look, you know what I'm saying, the best. So change the layout back to what it was, and then, you know, let's change the design to to just make it look better, to just update it, not change the actual structure of it. Show me 3 examples where they just updated but keeping the structure of it the same. All right, so all right, let's see. Let's see what we got now. This should be done. Connect wallet. Boom, 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 boom. All right, nice. Man, I'm about to be super picky here, but I just want to like change this. So the only thing I want to change with this is like the purple background behind the ghost. I mean, if, you know, I don't know if Phantom has a, an alternate, you know what I'm saying, like logo color, I guess ghost color that they use. You know, if not, let's just change the ghost color to that, like that purple that's in the background. But I don't want the background square around the portal. I mean, around the Phantom logo. Come, puppy. Come, leave it. Sit. All right, cool, guys. So we're just waiting for that to finish up, man. And then we're basically gonna be out of here for the day. All right, so this is looking pretty good. We're just waiting on it to finish up what it needs to do. Let's see. Let's check this here, connect wallet. Oh, I gotta refresh this. This is on the old version. All right, so yeah, it's taking a while for this to refresh. We're gonna have to run a get Portal to run a diagnostics on this and see exactly why, you know what I'm saying, it's taking all this time. Also, what I can notice here is yeah, we have this like this weird bar right here. Why? I have no clue. But that definitely doesn't need to be right there. Yeah, we don't want this. We don't want that for sure. Anybody who's joining, you know what I'm saying, again, this is the site Portal that I built. I vibe coded this using Codex. Oh, we're not right. I have no prior experience in coding at all. I am very creative though, right? I like looking at things and being able to see, you know, what I would do differently within them to make them better, right? Or add my own twist and flavor onto things. So because of that, right, we can use ChatGPT's Codex and we can build real applications, right? I'm building Codex to take on applications like Coinbase, trying to put their face in the dirt. No apologies needed, right, for that. And yeah, we're building right now. This is a great channel if you want to learn how to vibe code, you don't know anything about it, or you do know some things about it, you just want to follow along with my journey as I'm trying to hit $1 million from building an app, right? This is one of many apps that we're going to build on the channel. And yeah, if you think that's cool, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let's go on a journey together. Again, I have zero coding experience. You know, I just started messing around with, you know what I'm saying, Codex and some of the tools that are available within it. And yeah, I just started building. Got to work. All right, so let's check back on in Codex and see if it's still working. It's still making some things pop off. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, yeah, it's getting some stuff together. So, yeah, okay, yeah. I like how it, let me make sure it was done. I think it was done. All right, perfect. All right, so, boom, it did the new, okay, I definitely don't like option 1. Option 2 is cool. Option 3 is cooler. All right, so man, this is basically done. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I would say is that I just don't want these lines here to be as bright as they are, really. Yeah. All right. Boom. So we got it. Basically, we're gonna roll with option. Option. Let's see. Oh, actually, this is example 3. All right. Yeah, I like how when you highlight over it. Okay, which one you on? That's perfect. That's dope. It's like a purple highlight on that one. Do I like the purple highlight better or just that highlight? This highlight is cool. All right, so let's talk to it and tell it what we want to do here. All right, cool. So option 3 is the option that we're going to go with. I like the way that one looks and is set up. The only thing I would say is that there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white horizontal lines that kind of separate each of the different sessions. Those lines are too bright. They need to be the same color or opacity, shade, whatever you want to call it, as the line, as the stroke of the container that the session, you know what I'm saying, table kind of sits in. After you make that change, we can actually implement this option 3 and the changes that we just made to it into the actual portal code base. Let's make this page accessible by pressing the portfolio tab that is in the header section of the main terminal page in Portal. All right, perfect. All right, nice. So we're gonna let it do that, and then that should be a wrap, to be honest with you guys. Let's see something here. We gotta change this because this is ridiculous. I don't like this. Okay, so I see now that there's a basically a scroll bar or whatnot to be able to scroll all the way through the different tabs that are in the header or in the footer section. That never needs to happen. If anything needs to be resized, it can be something else within the header of the footer tab, but I don't want to ever have the actual tabs, you know, scroll through from left to right or whatnot. Even if we need to change the size of the tabs a little, we can. But yeah, the scroll bar is not a good look. We need to make sure we get rid of that. All right, bet. So we got that working now. All right, guys. So, man, this has been an excellent stream, guys. Again, you know, if y'all want to follow along and just, you know, like, subscribe if you appreciated what you saw here today. We'll be streaming multiple times throughout the week or whatnot. So, yeah, just follow, like, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, join us on this journey, man. We're vibe coding. We're taking this very seriously. If you want to learn how to vibe code, if you're you know, interested in putting yourself in a position to be able to build, you know, your own apps that, you know, you can make money off of or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and catch a bag off of, then this is the right channel to be on, right? We're going to be updating all the new possibilities that are available in vibe coding as they come out. We're going to be using them, testing them, and you know, just positioning ourselves to get better and better as far as you know, building these applications or whatnot, right? So for me to you, good day, my friends, and see y'all on the next stream.